So maybe you can speak a little bit about that, like being in the healthcare ecosystem for so long. What are some key learnings that you've taken from your different roles?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Um, so when I think about healthcare, I really take uh, I really map it across the whole value chain. So upstream, you can imagine in your mind, you have the engines of innovations, drugs, medical devices, life science tools that are focused on R&D productivity. And then downstream is where the rubber meets the road. Diagnosis, patient care, disease management. And then you have the peripheral layer, right? Administrative tech, claims automation, revenue cycle management, and so on, which is non-clinical but still dramatically improves efficiency. It's in that downstream patient-facing layer where innovation meets the complex reality of hospitals and clinics that you learn the hardest lessons. And after my time as an operator at Philips and later as an investor, there are three things that stand out. One, healthcare is a marathon, not a sprint. The life cycle from initial concept to a commercial exit is long and non-linear. Each milestone is a serious test. So proof of concept, you have clinical evidence, validation, FDA approval, reimbursement approval, and then commercialization, right? And the best founders, whether they're working on a new device or AI diagnostic, start from the problem, not from the technology. They have to ask, is this a nice to have or a must have? Right? A safe life saves money and fundamentally changes productivity. Because if it's not a must have, the journey will likely end at some point, right? Maybe as a pilot and then run out of money and it will never scale. Secondly, adoption is king and incentives drive adoption. This is the biggest killer of brilliant ideas because healthcare is inherently risk averse. And a hospital doesn't adopt technology just because it's elegant. They adopt it because it improves patient access, throughput, reduces error, improves patient outcome, and most critically, um, there needs to be a business case to it. So you have to solve what I call the three body problem of adoption. So one, clinical, right? You need clinical evidence to convince the physician. And then economic, right? You need have economic data to convince the payer or the budget holder in the hospital. And then workflow, you need to fit into the daily workflow of the hospital, right? So the users, you need to make the users' lives simpler, not harder, basically. And my biggest lesson from the operating side is to understand that procurement is a consensus spot. If those three incentives don't perfectly align, even a successful pilot will just stay as a pilot. It will not end in a rollout. Okay. And the third point is that operational discipline is the ultimate differentiator, especially today, in today's market. Great science, great strategy is just the price of entry. What separates a good company from a category defining one is operational maturity and execution. And this is comprehensive. It includes one, focus on regulatory readiness, robust quality systems, and consistent delivery to build trust with your customers. And increasingly, is also a fierce commitment to capital efficiency because it's a long cycle industry. If you burn through unnecessary cash on non-essential activities, this can kill a company before it even clears the regulatory hurdle. And yeah, so execution is what turns a promising idea into an enduring, reliable business that clinicians and hospitals trust, and in investors' views are fundable. So that was three.
Great.
Fourth thing that I've learned is that market timing is everything. So this is where foresight comes in. Ideas can be too early or too late, and the difference is often driven by external factors that the founder can't control. And so, for example, there's legislative changes or crucial reimbursement shifts, right? Like a new CPT code being approved, or technological maturity, reliability of a sensor, or accessibility of cloud computing, or artificial intelligence, right? So finally converges to create a scalable market. And having that operational discipline to be ready to scale instantly when the market timing window opens is key. Yeah. So in summary, if you want to succeed in healthcare, you need to combine deep scientific conviction with operational realism and excellent timing and discipline.